Alright, Brian, Eric, Matt Barr here. Got Tyler Sensenate teaching me how to shoot a gun, handgun. We're at the Scotia Range here in beautiful Center County, Pennsylvania, and my expert here to my right is going to teach me how to do it.
Alright, let's run through some of our safety precautions we want to take before we do this.
Alright.
So you've got your earplugs in.
Yeah.
It's got good hearing protection in. I've got mine here. Got a headset. Bright sunny day, you might want to have some sort of sunglasses, and also for ballistic type, any type of spray action into your face. Then over here, I'll go through some of the procedures for firing your handgun. You always want to keep it pointed down range to avoid any type of mishaps or any type of situations going on. In this case, our gun is safe. I've already cleared it beforehand. Matt, if you want to go ahead and double check to make sure it's clear. Is it clear?
All clear.
Alrighty. We're all clear. So, I'll show you some of the features of the gun. This is your firing pin. That means the gun is actually ready to fire. In this case, there is no safety on this gun. It's just the way this prototype was. So, you did that. You just checked to make sure it was clear, which is great. So then, once you do that, you're ready. Alright, so now Matt, I'll show you how to demonstrate loading your handgun. You wanna, I guess we'll have you stand over here, sorry. Alright, so first things first, we'll take the magazine, put the toe end forward, slide into the rack, make sure it clicks in there. So then, just make sure you lock. Now to load your gun, you're going to slide it back and then drop it forward. It's going to take off the first bullet on there. Okay. So just slide it forward. Remember how to do that?
Yep.
Okay. Then you're ready to go, basically.
Okay.
Alright, Matt. So next I'll demonstrate double checking your gun is loaded. There's a little red dot there.
Okay.
See that? That means there is a bullet loaded into the chamber.
Okay.
And then I'll take my aim, and if you'll help me stand back, and I'll talk you through it. But
okay.
So first, have your feet, this right foot back, left foot forward, since you're right-handed.
Yeah.
And then you told me you were right eye dominant.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm left eye dominant, so I'm just gonna tilt my head over a little bit more than you would.
Okay.
In order to see the your alignment sights here. So once your alignment sights are centered, you're gonna have just an equidistant amount of space in between the back target and the front target.
Okay.
So I'll take aim. Things to remember: breathe out before you shoot. So you want to breathe out.
Okay.
And this arm pretty much is locked. Doesn't have to be dead straight, but it's definitely locked. And
okay.
then this one kind of takes his hand and pulls his shoulder back in order to get a nice firm, pretty base.
Okay.
And don't try to. You're not really fighting against the recoil. Just kind of absorb it. All right.
Okay.
Don't worry about any part of that. So I'll fire 2 shots and then it'll be your turn.
Okay.
Yeah? Alright, this is Matthew Barr with his first attempt shooting a handgun.
Alright, here we go.
All you.
Red dot. Good to go.
Good to go. Remember to breathe out.
Eric. Now that you've seen thus far the instructional video that Tyler has taken the time out of his schedule to help me out with, I'll go into KP, KR, intrinsic feedback, and all that good stuff that you guys want to hear about. I'd first like to say that Tyler was an excellent instructor, knew exactly what he was talking about, took me through step by step, and really, really had the expert knowledge to get me through the lesson. Unfortunately, I couldn't go through shooting a weapon without learning how to do it first, so I couldn't try it before I learned all the safety tips. So I'm just going to really talk about my first attempt and what Tyler had told me to do and what he told me not to do. A lot of it had to do with intrinsic and knowing what I did right and didn't do right. He walked me through, obviously, safety and loading the weapon. I think the biggest thing was definitely just taking the intrinsic feedback, because I know where the bullet head ended up on the target, and then taking that and adjusting where I was aiming and my breathing and everything from stance to aim to everything else that Tyler pretty much talked about. I think the biggest thing that helped was definitely knowledge of results over knowledge of performance. Unlike the golf swing, shooting a weapon is just pretty much pulling a trigger. There's not that many moving parts, so I think once I saw where the bullet had entered the target, it was easier for me to adjust and go back and change what I had done to make sure that I did hit the target. And I think overall I learned a lot about the safety of handguns and just the overall aspect of just the basics on how to shoot. And I think that that's definitely the biggest thing that I learned.